Long before anyone recorded actors on a screen, crowds gathered to watch images projected onto walls. In the 17th and 18th centuries, entertainers relied on the magic lantern, a crude wooden optical toy powered by a simple oil lamp, to throw painted slides into the dark. The leap from static glass slides to genuine motion began with a dispute over a horse. In 1872, the former governor of California made a high-stakes bet on a simple question. When a horse runs, does it ever lift all four hooves off the ground at exactly the same time? To find out, he hired photographer Edward Muybridge. He devised a mechanical trap along a racetrack, rigging 24 individual cameras in a row and attaching a string to each shutter. As the horse galloped past, it tripped the wires, firing the cameras in rapid succession. The resulting sequence of photographs settled the bet, capturing a fraction of a second completely invisible to the naked eye. There, in the frames, the horse was completely airborne. Muybridge realized that if he mounted these sequential photographs onto the rim of a spinning disc and projected them, the isolated frames blurred together. The horse ran again. An elaborate experiment built entirely to prove a scientific point had inadvertently created the technological foundation for the moving picture. On the East Coast, inventor Thomas Edison recognized the commercial value of this illusion. Pairing these mechanical concepts with flexible celluloid roll film, Edison and his team engineered a machine to mass-produce motion photography. They built the Black Maria in New Jersey, the world's first dedicated film studio. It was a dark, cramped shed designed to funnel sunlight onto traveling vaudeville performers and strongmen as they acted out basic movements for the camera. But Edison's viewing device, the kinetoscope, had a severe limitation. To watch the footage, a customer had to drop in a coin, lean over a wooden cabinet, and stare down through a tiny peephole. While Edison successfully captured life on a strip of film, his reliance on the kinetoscope restricted the medium to arcade patrons looking into a box one person at a time. Across the Atlantic, two brothers operating a photographic equipment factory in France saw the ceiling on Edison's individual viewers. Auguste and Louis Lumière wanted to scale the experience up. They developed the cinematograph. It was a lightweight, portable machine with a hand crank that solved two problems at once. It could record fluid motion, and by shining a light through the back, it could project those images onto a massive wall. On December 28, 1895, the Lumières debuted their machine to a paying public in Paris. When a 50-foot reel showed a steam train hurtling toward the camera, the sudden, life-sized illusion of a locomotive barreling into the room reportedly sent audiences ducking and screaming. This became the era of actualities. Filmmakers simply set up a static camera on a tripod and documented unstaged everyday street life or workers leaving a factory. Projecting these images created a communal environment where a crowd of people reacted to the same on-screen motion simultaneously. The fascination with actualities faded quickly. Audiences grew bored of watching regular street traffic, and directors were still treating the camera as a passive, unmoving observer of reality. Georges Méliès approached the camera differently. As a professional stage magician, he didn't view the cinematic grass as a documentary tool, but as a machine capable of engineering illusions. Méliès discovered the stop camera trick. By halting the crank, swapping a prop or an actor on the set, and restarting the film, he made items disappear or transform right in front of the viewer. This single physical edit evolved into elaborate special effects. Méliès began layering multiple shots and writing fantastical storylines, eventually birthing the science fiction genre with 30-scene epics like his Trip to the Moon. Méliès showed that the camera could be used to write fiction rather than just record the street. Even with magical effects, cinema still had a rigid structure. Films were shot exactly like stage plays, with the camera locked in a single wide position for the entire duration of a scene. An American projectionist named Edwin S. Porter broke that staging. By physically handling reels of film all day, he realized that a movie didn't have to exist in one continuous take. In his 1903 hit, The Great Train Robbery, Porter introduced cross-cutting. He took sequences happening in two different locations simultaneously, bandits escaping and the telegraph operator calling for help, and built tension by splicing them together. He also moved the camera with the action, cutting between distant wide shots and tight close-ups. This provided a visual immediacy and a relentless pace that live theater could never match. Porter bypassed the static reality of early actualities. He wrote the foundational grammar of modern cinematic storytelling. The ability to tell complex, high-speed stories triggered a commercial explosion. By 1908, over 5,000 storefront Nickelodeon theaters opened across the United States to meet audience demand. Thomas Edison reacted to the boom by forming the Motion Picture Patents Company. He organized a ruthless legal monopoly, pooling patents with a few select rivals to crush competitors and extract fees from the thriving independent market. Facing constant lawsuits, corporate sabotage, and thugs destroying their equipment, independent filmmakers packed up and fled the East Coast, seeking territory far outside Edison's legal reach. They settled in a quiet Southern California suburb. The cheap land, open spaces, and reliable year-round sunlight allowed them to shoot continuously, laying the foundations for massive, enclosed production facilities. The battle over patents drove independent filmmakers into a new geographic hub and modern studio system. By 1915, 15-second arcade loops were being replaced by multi-reel epics produced for a global audience.